Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where you'll notice that the UI is a little bit bigger, and if you're watching in 4K, a little bit blurrier. Unfortunately, this game is definitely designed for a 1080 UI. I just felt like it was a little on the small side at 1.5x scaling. This is now at 2x scaling. It feels better. I mean, this is how the UI is sized for 1080p, right? But it's a little bit on the blurry side on 4K, but I guess I can forgive that. This game came out in, 2016? 4K wasn't particularly common there. But Paradox, if you watch my channel, which I'm pretty sure you don't, I highly recommend that you make this UI a little bit better at 4K. Anyway, we're going to move on here, and we have some building slots on Earth. We're not going to use them, because I have no idea what we need yet. You know, I said... I'm going to move us up to fast speed. I said that I was going to look at the patch notes. Yeah, that definitely didn't happen. I should have. I definitely should have. Ooh, that's a couple of pretty nice worlds there. Fantastic. So here's the question. When we build this starbase, are we going to get any energy credits from it? We're going to keep an eye on this. Because we saw that in the... Wait, that technology was what? I don't think we've researched it yet. But this is only increasing a 20% bonus, energy from starbase constructions. So, are we going to get energy credits from this? Is this a one-time thing? Is this a constant thing? How does this work? That's the question right now. We're going to move up here, and we're going to continue surveying. We need to locate some xeno-Ethiopians at this point. Everyone is Ethiopian. They just don't know it yet. Everyone is Ethiopian. Everyone gets healthcare. It's perfect. No one will have any problems with this policy. I guarantee you. Okay, so did we just get a chunk? Hang on. I feel like I gotta go back here. Well, let's see here. We're making 12 from stations. I think that's more. Our starbases are only costing us 5 because we only have the one upgraded starbase. Interesting. Regardless, we're going to build our research stations, followed by our mining stations, and that'll be fine. Now, we are playing on the highest difficulty here, so we should assume that the AI is going to be fairly aggressive. This fleet, unlike previous playthroughs where we played on scaling difficulty, this fleet will probably not be good enough at the beginning here to dissuade other empires from declaring war on us. However, we don't find any other empires just yet, but we're going to have to definitely keep that in mind. Now, we currently have a shipyard and a trade hub here. That's okay for now. We'll allow it. We do want to get this continental world. Ooh, we definitely want to get this continental world getting upgraded ASAP. So yeah, we can definitely see here that each planet size is giving us 1 district capacity. Because we have a size 23 planet, we have 18 available districts with 5 tile blockers here. Fine. That's absolutely fine. We definitely want to work on our colony ship here. And we can get one of those out immediately. Do it. Well, let's get moving on that one. And these surveyings... Ooh, now that is nice. Exotic gases. During a survey of Yidixa 2, the ISS Nobel discovered several exotic gases, previously unknown to us. These gases have a variety of different uses, particularly in the operation of advanced energy-based weaponry and force fields. Some of the gases can also be used as starship fuel, or even as recreational drugs. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. Yeah, we definitely should. Exotic gases are very helpful later on. Hello, we have a tradition available. We are definitely going to take to boldly go to survey even faster. Research alternatives are good, but I definitely want that research station output first, so we're going to go down these two, then these two. As we normally do in Stellaris. I just feel like Discovery is too powerful early on. That said, if they nerf it, at all, we're going to have a big issue with it, in that it'll be way too unpowerful. way too weak, I guess is the term I'm looking for there. It's going to be an interesting situation, to be sure. Okay, so we're surveying over here right now. I think what we'll do is we'll have this science ship survey out this direction to exit the constellation here. We can see that there's only 2 constellation exit points, so that is fantastic for us. This is a very defensible position, and we're going to queue up surveyings over here like so, and technically, this is also within our constellation right here. So that is great. Absolutely fantastic. Ooh, a free alloy over here too. That's very good as well. Alloys are very, very valuable, and we are happy about that. So our mining stations over here on Sirius are going to finish up fairly soon. And when is that colony ship going to be done? It's about half done right now. We have to make sure that we're not overextending our colonization efforts, of course. Now, this continental world is only 65%, but that should be fine. I'm unclear at this point if the habitability is affecting only the stability like it was previously. Now, this one is, of course, 100% habitable. So if we look over here, this world is only 70% habitable. Okay, so it is a little bit worse than it used to be, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. However, every point of habitability below 100% increases pop amenity usage by 1%, increases pop upkeep by 1%, reduces resources from jobs by 0.5%, and reduces pop growth speed by 0.5%. It's not the end of the world, but we'll have to keep that in mind. Of course, eventually we'll be able to just terraform it, or just increase our habitability in general. So that's not a huge deal, ultimately, but it'll be a big deal later on. Once we exit this constellation, our chances of running into xeno-Ethiopians will go up dramatically. So that is definitely good to know. We gotta run into those xeno-Ethiopians. So I think we're gonna come over here and build a starbase over Barnard's Star. It's not the greatest location, but it'll be fine. Our Empire Sprawl is just going to keep going up, and that's pretty much the way it's going to be. I think for our starbases, we'll keep this. We'll leave that be for now. We'll keep this as our primary shipyard, and then these two will become defensive outposts, most likely. Our colony ship just finished up, and we are, of course, going to come over to Sirius 3 and colonize that as Sirius Prime, our very first colonization in another solar system. Excellent. Like I said, we're probably going to need to bulk up our fleet a little bit, but for right now, we're not too interested in that. Got some time left on these researches. That's okay. No real concerns there. Eudixa should be done being researched fairly soon here. Or rather, surveyed fairly soon here. And then out here, we have 2 locations to go to. I'm not sure which one we'll go to yet. Once we get up here, we should have more information. Same with over here.
System survey complete.
Excellent. Bennett Nash has been surveyed.
Construction complete.
Barnard's Star has been brought into our fold. And we're going to build a mining station here before we come up here and build a starbase. We'll go ahead and queue that up. We're going to be a little bit short on influence, but, I mean, that's pretty much always the early game crunch, right? Gotta get that influence rolling. But we are going to get that Unity upgrade quite soon. We did just finish surveying Eudixa, which is always fantastic. At this point, we can honestly afford to, like, look at all these energy credits. Is it just me, or is it insane how many early game energy credits we're getting nowadays? Like, this is slightly bonkers. I'm assuming it's going to get rough later on, and this will be required. But for now, let's go ahead and get ourselves another Hubble-class science ship. Like, I don't see a reason not to right now. We definitely could use... Honestly, we could use a 4th Hubble-class science ship. We have the energy credits to make it happen.
The conquest of a new world has begun.
I mean, I'm not sure I'd call this conquest, but sure. Our colony ship has gently touched down at the mouth of a large river delta, on one of the several continents that can be found on Sirius Prime. This temperate, forested region will serve as an ideal first landing site. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and its reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first Ethiopian city on an alien world. Great day for the Ethiopian Empire. That is a lot of engineering research. Fantastic. A habitable world survey. We will definitely do that. I don't really care about the 20 influence here. We will do this. We now know without a doubt that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Earth. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of alien life found throughout the galaxy. Efforts to catalog the life forms we encounter are already underway, but our xenobiologists have urged us to focus our planetary survey efforts on habitable, life-bearing worlds. A commendable initiative.
Situation log updated.
Excellent. We will definitely do that. Is this costing us energy credits to upkeep until this happens? Until this colonization is done? No, is the answer. Huh. Fascinating. I think that the amount of resources that we have coming in this early game is insane compared to what I'm used to in Stellaris. Maybe we just got lucky with what we have on our initial roll here, but this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So we're going to assign a leader here. We, of course, need a new one, and, I mean, leader cost and upkeep reduction is fine. We're going to send this one all the way out over this way to survey. And then we've also got this one, and we need another recruit here. None of these are really important, so we will take this guy, and we'll send him out over this way to survey. Fantastic. 4 science ships should be sufficient. I don't think that our influence can handle having 2 construction ships, so we're not going to do that just yet. Ooh, this is a nice little anomaly here. A Class 12 asteroid orbits this planet. The small planetoid's orbit appears far too stable for its presence to be a natural occurrence. We're going to research it. We can also grab databank uplinks. Fantastic. Once again, research from Starbase Constructions increased by 20%. Very interesting. So we did build this separately. I'm not sure what that refers to. But I think that we are getting a chunk of energy credits and maybe a chunk of stored research as well, once we construct these star bases. Let's keep an eye on this one. 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Okay, when is this going to finish? Before the month tick. So, 2.8k, and we have no stored research currently.
Construction complete.
We got no chunk and no stored research. Okay. I don't know what it's talking about then, when it talks about energy credits and research from Starbase Constructions. Unless they're talking about Starbase buildings and modules? Maybe they're talking about Starbase building and modules. That could be. I think that solved it. For some reason, someone has towed an asteroid into a stable orbit around Tiralum 4. The massive engine sections and braking thrusters can still be found on the surface, although they have long since been rendered inoperable. Whoever did this also mined the asteroid for minerals, but these operations were seemingly abandoned shortly after they begun. So +3 engineering research there. That's solid. We currently have a unemployment on Earth, and that's something we should deal with. We're not currently short on any particular resources other than perhaps consumer goods and alloys. We are actually consuming quite a lot of consumer goods already. So let's go ahead and build an industrial district here. That will get us Oh, that's housing neutral. You can still build alloy foundries and civilian industries if you want to not be housing neutral. So we'll keep an eye on that. I also want to start clearing these tile blockers. We've got the energy credits for it. We may as well. Sirius Prime is still a long ways away from being colonized. And that is, of course, to be expected. So we're building this research station here. We're also going to want to build these mining stations once we can. We're currently lacking the minerals for that, and we probably... Oh, we already queued it. That's why we can't. Okay, that's fine. This is a lot of minerals in Alpha Centauri. We're not even done surveying this yet, and there's a solid continental world here. That's definitely our next starbase. There's no doubt about that. Oh, hello! We found some xeno-Ethiopians? Xeno-Ethiopians. These xeno-Ethiopians are mining drones. Okay. So, news of alien ships humming through the ether has reached Earth in many ways, ending the first chapter in the book of the Ethiopian Empire's bid for a stellar empire. Intriguing. We've made first contact with mysterious aliens in the JOSC format system. FOMAT, rather. For now, we have codenamed them Alpha Aliens, until we can find out more about them. If they possess a language, we should decipher it so we can assess how much of a threat they pose. Not a huge amount of threat, but some. Certainly some. So we need to assign an envoy here. Oh, this kind of works like the... This is neat. This works like the archaeological dig system. So we need to assign an envoy, and we can assign either of these. Neither of them have traits, so we'll just go with the top one on the list. Breakthrough chance of 0%. Yeah, this works almost exactly the same way. Fantastic. So we've got an ongoing investigation here. And this also works like the sieges in Europa. So that means that we can't go up here just now. So in that case, we are going to come survey over here. You can just stop that and come survey over here for now. We'll send this ship up here, up this way when it's done. That'll be fine. And we are, of course, going to need to strengthen our fleet to be able to deal with those, but that's fine as well. Ooh, another one. Ah, these guys are going to be one of the guilds. That's okay too. We've made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Darasta system. For now, we've codenamed them Beta Aliens until we can find out more about them. Indeed. And so we need to assign an envoy here, and this will be our second envoy. We only have 2. So that'll be fine for now. We can continue surveying this, though. These guys are not hostile. Unlike these guys, who absolutely are. But there's lots of Ethiopians around, it seems. That's good to know. We Ethiopians are a very friendly sort. We like other Ethiopians, and everyone is another Ethiopian. Glowing webs of an unknown origin periodically illuminate the surface of 1337-02. We'll go ahead and research that one. It's pretty slow, or rather pretty fast, so that'll be fine. We'll move out over here, and go ahead and start building a starbase in Alpha Centauri. That'll be great, and we're going to be able to get another colony going in Alpha Centauri. That's fantastic. We certainly want to grab, at the very least, actually it looks like this system here is where we're going to want to construct our defense at. But JOSC Fomat will be a good defensive structure for us. Excellent. We will, of course, need to increase our fleet strength if we want to take these guys out. They're roughly 802. Science Officer Conrad Schubert reports that 1337-02 is covered from pole to pole in a web-like network of electrical filaments. These networks respond to external stimuli. The ISS Nobel experimented with sending a low-voltage pulse to the surface, which resulted in a wave of illumination that rippled through the network, like a circuit board. Even more remarkably, the webs rearranged themselves. A second, low-voltage pulse revealed that the filaments had been organized into a new pattern, centered around where the previous pulse had contacted the surface of 1337-012. Konrad Schubert concludes that this discovery confirms his long-held theory that life can exist as almost purely electrical impulses, independent of cellular or viral structure. Fantastic! +3 society research there, and the skill of Konrad Schubert has gone up by +1. Oh, hello! We have a first contact event here. Wonderful. We've discovered a new life form in Jask Fomat, although calling it a life form may be incorrect. The entities appear to be fully automated mechanical drones built exclusively for some unknown industrial purpose. Observations will continue, but since it's likely that these machines are programmed with defensive protocols, it would be prudent to tread lightly. Keep looking, but use caution. Excellent. So we will continue up there. And of course, there's our beta aliens first contact going as well.
System survey complete.
Okay, we're going to head over here and survey. And we're heading here. So that'll be fine. Getting those surveys done nice and quick. That's the goal here. And it will continue to speed up as well. So this isn't going to happen, actually, obviously. Atmospheric readings. Atmosphering? Wow, reading is apparently very difficult. Atmospheric readings from Europa 3 do not match simulated projections. We'll leave that one be for now. It's 150 days. We'll come back to these, definitely. But now is not necessarily the time for it. We do have our maximum number of envoys currently.
Scientific breakthrough
Hello!
achieved.
Fantastic. There's our field modulation done. Ooh, research speed almost right out the gate. Yes. Get that. Okay, so this is our beta aliens down here in Rasta. We've picked up readings of unknown nature. The signals seem to follow some kind of repeating syntax, which could indicate sapient origin. It should be investigated further. They seem to be concentrated around a single space station, although it is unclear whether this forms part of a larger spacefaring civilization. Proceed. Fantastic. I do like this new first contact process. It's very reminiscent of archaeological sites. In fact, it works in exactly the same way, and I do like it.
Construction complete.
Okay, we just finished our construction over Alpha Centauri. We are, of course, going to queue up our mining stations for now, and we are also going to immediately start outputting a colony ship as soon as we can. Fantastic. So that's well underway at this point, and we are clearing out these locations.
Achieved.
Oh, we specifically have the Great Pacific Garbage Patch there. I didn't even notice that. That's an Earth-specific thing. Nice. And that's the Delhi Sprawl. Yeah, that's some nice flavor there. Monthly Unity +2. Planetary Unification has finished up. Admin cap +5%. I mean, that's not super useful for us right now, so we'll not do that just yet. Naval cap from soldier jobs. That's potentially useful, but since we're looking at some rapid colony growth here, I think eco-simulation is the way to go. More food from farmers and from starbase constructions, which I'm now convinced that the term starbase constructions is referring to modules and buildings. I'm 100% convinced of this. Excellent. So all of this seems to be going quite well for now. These are the only 3 locations in our immediate cluster here that is going to be particularly useful in terms of colonization early on. Although we could colonize Edixa 3A, and that would be okay. In fact, we probably should colonize Edixa 3A.
System survey.
I don't know yet how we're going to build each of these planets.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Well, there's our coil guns. We'll take that. Ooh, hang on. You will wait. we are going to go for engineering research from researchers early on. We've located what we believe could be an ancient subspace gateway near Rebellion Vortex. I have no idea where that is. It's not showing up. Is that like way out here somewhere? No. Where's the Rebellion Vortex? Okay. Rebellion. Ah, that's not a system name. That must be a biome name. I have no idea. At any rate, we found an L gate, and I'm not sure where it is. I don't see it on the map. We've located what we believe could be an ancient subspace gateway near Rebellion Vortex. It appears to have been part of a galaxy-wide network of similar stations, which, when operational, allowed for near-instantaneous travel from one part of the galaxy to another. At some point after its initial construction, its connection to the rest of the network was severed. It now offers only one valid destination, an uncharted group of stars just beyond our galaxy that our astronomers have designated the L Cluster. Even more intriguing, the gateway was built entirely by microscopic nanites of an unknown design. Although the gateway emits a faint power signature, it has been deliberately locked into some kind of maintenance loop that prevents its activation. Until we find some way of aborting this process, the L Cluster will remain beyond our reach. Intriguing.
Situation
Oh, it just
log
popped up here.
updated.
Okay. Fantastic. That's actually well within our territory. So we have an L gate available to us. We'll leave that be for now. And we also have another first contact situation up here. This is, of course, the drones up here. Reports of the deep space drones previously encountered have been investigated closer. The drones appear to be the workers and custodians of an autonomous orbital mining operation, established millennia ago and then soon abandoned by all but the drones themselves. Judging by the state of the processing equipment, the drones possess powerful mining lasers and make obviously threatening, if not outright hostile, overtures toward Ethiopian vessels when approached. They may only be old drones, but they should be kept under close watch by the Ethiopian Empire. Understood. So that will end the first contact procedure, get us 32 influence.
An alien empire wishes to communicate.
I'm not sure they actually do, but sure. And now we have access to knowing about these guys. Fantastic. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to finish settling our initial star cluster here, and then potentially go after these aliens. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.